The NFL playoffs are set to start on Saturday, and I, like many other people, cannot wait. And every year when the playoffs roll around, especially these previous years, there's two questions that we ask. Number one, who's a dark horse? Who's not a one or two seed that could make a run to potentially the conference championship? And then as of the last, 5, 6, 7 years, the question is who is the team that could potentially beat the Chiefs, right? I feel like that is a very common question that we have to ask ourselves. And I want to address the dark horse question first. I think it's a pretty easy answer. I narrowed it down to two teams. There's just one I like a little bit more than the other. It's really hard for me to pick a dark horse in the AFC because I think it's pretty clear that the Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs are head and shoulders better than everyone else in that conference. So, like Pittsburgh, great defense. I don't really trust Russell Wilson. Texans are really banged up at wide receiver. Bo Nix is a fun story this year. The Chargers don't have the weapons. So I think it's pretty clear that the Bills, Chiefs, or Ravens will come out of the AFC. So I think that you have to take your dark horse out of the NFC, especially since the Lions are, they continue to find a way to win, but they're still incredibly banged up. The Eagles, if you want to have concerns about Jalen Hurts, who, had a concussion earlier in the year, and, they didn't look super solid all year. They had some defensive struggles early. It seems like they've figured those out. I just feel like the NFC is the more likely conference where we have a dark horse run. And I think the pick either has to be the Rams or the Packers. The Buccaneers defense has been inconsistent, to say the least. You could honestly probably say that they've been consistently bad. Same thing with the Commanders. I don't trust their defense either. When you look at the Rams and the Packers, however, they check all of the boxes. Good head coach, good, really good to great quarterback play, weapons on offense, guys that you trust on defense. And for me, I'm going to go with the Rams. Now, if you wanted to tell me it was the Packers, I would totally get it. Jordan Love's been great in the second half of the season, but he did something to his elbow in Week 18 against the Bears. Watson, he's not going to play in the playoffs, and so the Rams are just a little bit healthier, and I also trust Sean McVay more than Matt LaFleur. Like this is the team that if you're going to pick a non-1, 2, or 3 seed to make a run, I think this has to be it. Now, part of it is the Rams, and since their bye week, have been nothing short of spectacular. They got off to a horrid start, 1-4, a lot of injuries. Cooper Kupp missed several games early. He missed 4 games on the year, not counting the fact that the Rams rested their starters in Week 18. Puka, he missed 5 games this year before being rested in Week 18. But when they got everybody back after that bye week, they went 9-3. And they beat some really good teams along the way, like the Bills and the Vikings and the Seahawks, who I know didn't make the playoffs, but they went 10-7. This is a dangerous team who can beat anybody, and they know that, and that's why they rested their starters in Week 18. They feel like when they're healthy, they can play with anybody, and they didn't want to risk injury, which I get because this is a Rams team that when you look at their core players, Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, like those guys have been on deep playoff runs before, and Puka Nakua's had some injury things, so I get why they rested their starters. I don't like that they're playing the Vikings in round 1 because that team's really good, but the Rams beat them by 10 earlier in the season, and this young defense that they have has just continued to get better throughout the season. Matthew Stafford is more than capable of being the best quarterback in any game that he plays in, especially out in the NFC, where the quarterback play just isn't quite as good as it is in the AFC with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson. So I like the Rams as my dark horse. If you like the Packers, though, totally get that as well. Moving to the AFC. Look, I'm telling you right now, I'm picking the Chiefs to win the whole thing. They are Tom Brady, New England Patriot level. I'm not betting against these guys. Groundbreaking take there. Nope, no one else is saying that. But if I had to pick anybody to beat them, I would probably pick the Bills. If you want to pick the Ravens, I get it. There's just one difference between the Bills and the Ravens, and that's why I'm leaning towards the Bills. First and foremost, look, you have to have the quarterback to beat the Chiefs because the Chiefs' defense is amazing. They're 4th in the NFL in points allowed, 12th in yards per play allowed, 8th in red zone defense. that combined with Patrick Mahomes makes them the best team in the NFL. Okay, with that being said, the Bills and the Ravens have both been awesome this year. Okay, Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson is going to win the MVP, and I won't be upset between whoever wins it. And both of these teams are more than capable of beating the Chiefs. I don't want you to walk away from this video thinking this guy thinks that the Ravens can't do it. No, I just think that the Bills are more likely. Part of that is, Lamar Jackson is amazing, and I cannot stress that enough. But, we've seen him struggle in the playoffs a little bit, winning from the pocket, while Josh Allen has been just this incredible playoff performer really throughout his entire career. So Bills also much more complete than they have been in years past. They can really run the football. Amari Cooper's a legit wide receiver one. Keon Coleman and Khalil Shakir both really emerged this year. I like the defense, and that is where the difference is for me between the Ravens and the Bills, and why if I had to pick one to upset the Chiefs, I would take the Bills. The Ravens have the 31st ranked pass defense in the NFL. And I just don't think that you can beat Patrick Mahomes with the second worst passing defense in the NFL. Maybe that is way too simplistic of an approach. If you want to say, well, Jonathan, the Bills aren't much better, they're 24th. That's a pretty large gap between 24th and 31st. Now, to the Ravens' credit, they do have the best run defense in the NFL, but the Bills are 12th. So, big gap there, sure, but it's not like the Bills are bad at defending the run. I just find it incredibly hard to believe that the second worst pass defense in the NFL is going to stop arguably, or undoubtedly, the best quarterback in the NFL now. And if this guy three-peats, potentially the best quarterback we've ever seen. So that combined with the inconsistency from Lamar Jackson is why I'm a little more comfortable picking the Bills. Plus, Josh Allen's been awesome this year, running, throwing the football, doing all the Josh Allen things without turning it over. And I think part of why the Bills' defensive numbers aren't as high as they could be is because Matt Milano missed a lot of the year this year. He's back. They've got good pass rushers. I would lean Bills, but if the Ravens were to beat the Chiefs, I wouldn't be surprised either. Thanks for watching the video. I'll be back again tomorrow night with another one. Cleveland is playing Oklahoma City in the NBA. That's going to be an awesome game. I'll do a video about that game when it's over. And then on, let me think, today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll have a video, or maybe that game's, I don't know. Whenever the Thunder play the Cavs, I'm doing a video on that. I'm doing a video before the college football playoff semifinals. And, of course, on Friday, I'll have out an NFL playoff game-by-game prediction. So make sure you subscribe and check out those videos when they all come out. Thank you for watching this video and getting through me figuring out what day of the week it was. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you again soon.